This lecture offers a short introduction to the Unitary Patent and the Unified Patent Court. Its aim is to give researchers and innovators a practical understanding of how the new system works and what it means for protecting and enforcing their innovations in Europe. The idea of a single European patent is not new. Already in the 1970s and 1980s there were several attempts to introduce a so-called community patent, but these efforts ultimately failed. A real breakthrough came much later in 2012, with the adoption of the Unitary Patent Regulations and the agreement on a Unified Patent Court. This was followed by a long ratification phase from 2013 to 2022, during which the participating states had to approve the system. The process was further complicated by Brexit, as the United Kingdom withdrew from the project after initially being involved. Finally, on 1 June 2023, the Unitary Patent System entered into force. Under the traditional European patent system, a granted European patent does not automatically provide protection across Europe. Instead, it must be validated separately in each designated country. This leads to high overall costs, not only for translations and renewals, but also because enforcement often results in parallel litigation in multiple jurisdictions. As a consequence, national courts may reach divergent decisions on the very same patent. These complexities and costs have been particularly challenging for small and medium-sized enterprises, which often lack the resources to manage fragmented protection and litigation. A unitary patent is a European patent that, after grant by the European Patent Office, EPO, provides uniform protection across participating EU member states through a single title. It is based on the European Patent Convention, EPC, but takes effect under a special EU regulation once the patent is granted. Instead of validating the European patent separately in each country, the patent proprietor can request unitary effect, resulting in one patent with equal scope in all participating states. To obtain a unitary patent, the applicant first files and prosecutes a standard European patent application at the EPO. After the EPO grants the patent, a request for unitary effect must be filed within 1 month of the grant publication. Once registered, the unitary patent is maintained by a single annual renewal fee, and is subject to the exclusive jurisdiction of the Unified Patent Court. The Unified Patent Court, or UPC, is a supranational court created to handle patent disputes in participating EU member states. It comprises judges from all participating member states of the EU. It has exclusive jurisdiction over unitary patents and, in principle, over European patents that have not been opted out during the transitional period. We will talk about the possibility of opting out later in this session. The UPC can decide on infringement and validity in one single procedure with effect across all participating states. Its structure includes local and regional divisions, a central division, and a court of appeal located in Luxembourg. Proceedings before the UPC are designed to be faster and more streamlined than traditional national litigation. Judgments of the UPC are directly enforceable in all participating states. This reduces the risk of parallel proceedings and inconsistent national decisions. At the same time, the UPC increases litigation risk, because a single decision can revoke or enforce a patent across many countries at once. At present, namely in January 2026, the Unified Patent Court and the Unitary Patent System cover 18 EU member states, namely Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Portugal, Romania, Slovenia, Sweden. This territorial scope already represents a significant part of the European market, but it is important to note that the system is dynamic and continues to grow as additional member states complete ratification. The court operates in multiple official languages, reflecting Europe's linguistic diversity. These include Danish, Dutch, English, Finnish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Slovenian, and Swedish. In practice, however, proceedings are often conducted in English, German, or French, depending on the division. As more countries join, both the geographical reach and practical relevance of the system will continue to expand. The Unified Patent Court is now entering its 3rd year of operation, and we are starting to see a meaningful body of case law emerge. In the early phase, litigation was dominated by cases in the telecommunications sector, reflecting the strategic importance of standard essential patents. This was soon followed by a growing number of disputes in the pharmaceutical field, where pan-European enforcement is particularly attractive. As a result, the UPC is moving from a startup phase into a more mature phase, in which procedural standards and substantive legal principles are becoming clearer. This gradual formation of case law is increasing predictability for patent owners and challengers alike. Because the Unified Patent Court is a new system, the lawmaker foresaw a transitional period of 7 years, currently running until 2030, which may be extended for a further 7 years. During this transitional period, proprietors of classic European patents and pending European patent applications can opt out of the jurisdiction of the UPC. By opting out, the patent remains subject exclusively to national courts, as under the traditional European patent system. The opt-out must be registered before any action is brought before the UPC. Once a UPC action has been initiated, an opt-out is no longer possible for that patent. An opt-out can later be withdrawn, provided no national court proceedings have been started in the meantime. This mechanism allows patent owners to balance the opportunities and risks of the new system, while case law continues to develop. When deciding between a unitary patent and the traditional European patent route, there are a few key strategic questions to consider. First, do you need broad territorial coverage within the participating EU member states? If so, a unitary patent is often the most efficient solution. Second, do you also require protection in countries that are not part of the unitary patent system, such as Switzerland or the United Kingdom, which are no EU members, or Spain, which is not part of the UPC system? In that case, a mixed strategy combining a unitary patent with national validations may be appropriate. Finally, is the patent particularly litigation-sensitive or business-critical? If so, it may be advisable to consider opting out of the UPC during the transitional period to manage litigation risk. In summary, the Unitary Patent Package represents a major structural change in European patent law. For the first time, patentees can rely on a single patent with uniform effect and a single court with cross-border jurisdiction. At the same time, the system includes a transitional period running at least until 2030, and potentially beyond, which allows stakeholders to adapt gradually. Against this background, the strategic decision taken at the time of grant is critical. Choices made at this stage, whether to request unitary effect, to validate nationally, or to opt out of the UPC, can have long-term consequences for enforcement, risk, and cost. Did you like what you learned? Find more in our playlist.